Okay, so let's start with correct posture. So I want to start from your feet. So I want your feet to be hips distance apart with your toes pointed forward. Make sure that you have even weight between the ball of your foot and your heel. And then I want you to make sure your arches are nice and tall. So I don't want you rolling in and collapsing in. I want them nice and tall so that you can draw a straight line from your third toe up through the center of your ankle, center of your knee, center of your hip, okay? Next, we're gonna take your hips and figure out what your neutral hip is. So if you take your hips like it's a bucket of water, first we're gonna spill the water out the front. So you're gonna rotate your hips until you have an arch in your back. And then you're gonna tuck your hips under, spill the water out the back, okay? And then your neutral spine is right halfway in between those two. So you should feel like your bucket's nice and level in the center, okay? Moving up from the hips, we're gonna go to shoulders. So I want you to take your shoulders and roll them back and down, okay? Reach your fingertips toward your toes and squeeze your shoulder blades together so that they're nice and tall. Your palms and your neutral shoulder should be facing one another. From there, let's move up to the neck. So I want you to be nice and tall through the top of your spine, but not by lifting your chin, but by tucking your chin in. And that's your correct posture. We'll use this correct posture in all of our following exercises. Okay, next we're going to go through a four-way direction balance. So choose one leg to balance on. And if you can, I want you to try not to put your foot down in between each direction. If you need to, you can reset and find your balance. And if balance is really challenging for you, go ahead and find a wall or a tabletop to hold on to while you do this. Okay, so four directions. We're going to start with by bringing your foot out in front. Okay, bring it back and come out to the side. Back, go ahead backwards now, and then back to center, and now we're going to come across the front. Okay, so let's do that again. And now the further you bring your foot out, the harder it's going to be. So trying to keep your balance the whole time, thinking about your correct posture. So abs are in, shoulders back and down, chin tucked in a little bit. Okay, so trying to hold that balance the whole time. We'll do one more on the side, and you'll probably find that one side will be easier than the other. Okay, and then cross over in front. And now let's go ahead and switch to the other leg. So we'll come up, find your balance, correct posture, okay? Bring it out in front, out to the side, behind, and across. And you'll find if you bring it up higher, you'll start to feel different leg muscles will get a big workout. So you can kind of do more than one thing at once. So bring it forward, out to the side, back, and across. And we'll do one more on this side. So to make it harder, you can either hold it out there longer, or you can go further, or you can do more repetitions, okay? And then our last exercise here is going to be up against the wall. So go ahead, find a wall space, and to set yourself up, this is for scapular retraction, so this is going to work your whole upper back, okay? So I want you to stand against the wall, move your feet out away from the wall until you can get your lower back all the way onto the wall. So that's really important that that stays there the whole entire time, okay? So I have my hips, my lower back, shoulders, and then I want your head back against the wall too, okay? If you can't get your head against the wall without tipping your chin up, I want you to stay away from the wall but keep that neck neutral and just come back as far as you can, okay? From this position, we're going to do three different things. First is a T position. So you just bring your hands out to the sides, palms facing forward, and get your wrists all the way back against the wall, keeping your lower back pressed in, okay? And we're just going to hold this here for 30 seconds. So you should feel nice and tall, shoulders are down, and you'll feel between your shoulder blades will start to work, okay? Keep checking in, make sure your lower back is still against the wall, okay? And then you can bring your hands down, little rest, okay? Next one is going to be a 90-degree angle. So I want you to find that correct posture again. So hips against the wall, lower back, shoulders, and head. And then we're going to bring your elbows out to the side. And I want you to slowly rotate your hands back and only come back as far as you can without letting your lower back come off. If you can, try and get your wrists all the way back against the wall and hold it there. If you can only get part way, that's okay, just hold it and you'll still feel those muscles work just the same. So now we're going to hold that position, shoulders stay down, lower back still against the wall. So to make this one harder, you can either hold it longer or you can do more sets of each exercise. And then bring your hands down, and we have just one more position. So next we're going to come up into a Y. So again, get the lower back on the wall, shoulders down, and as you reach up, make sure your shoulders don't shrug up toward your ears. So keep them down and lift up. Now if this is painful in your shoulder at all, the lower you bring your hands, the less demand it puts on your shoulder. So choose a position that feels good to you. If you can only bring your hands up to here without your lower back leaving, that's where I want you to be. So you're just going to hold that here. Again, you should feel all between your shoulder blades and around your shoulder blades working. This is really good for correcting your posture. And then bring your arms down.
Our next exercise is a push-up at the wall. So we're going to find our correct posture again and place our hands at the wall. As you look at your hands, they're slightly wider than your shoulders. Walk your feet back until your heels are slightly lifted. Your body makes a long line, and from here, bend at your elbows. Let them bend towards the sides and lean. Let your upper body come towards the wall. So you're bringing your head towards the wall as you bend and extend through your elbows. Keep your abdominal muscles contracted, and each time, forward almost to the wall and back until the arms are straight. Continuing with this exercise, doing approximately 8 to 12 repetitions. We'll do one more, and back. Our next exercise is the deadlift. So we're going to start once again in our correct posture. However, bring your hands in front of you this time. So your palms are facing your thighs. We're going to hinge at our hips and bend forward. And as we bend, put a slight bend in your knees and in your hips. Go this first time only down until you're just about at your knees, and then come back up. I'll turn to the side to demonstrate the difference between a hip hinge and a hinge at our back. So hinging from the hips means we hinge forward at the hips, but keep the back straight. So notice the upper back all the way down through the lower back. Stay straight here. Hinging from the upper back, you'd see a rounding through the back. You lose that correct posture, rounding through the shoulders and going forward. This puts a lot of stress on our lower back. Okay, so as we continue in our deadlift and continue to hinge forward from the hips, bend at the knees, bend at the hips, and push the tailbone back as though you were going to sit into a chair. From here, the toes are lifted and all of the weight is in the heels. As we come up, we use those strong muscles in the back of our legs, our gluteal muscles and our hamstrings, to lift us up. So again, it's down for a count of 4, and then lift for a count of 4. Let's try one more time, down for a count of 4, and lift for a count of 4, and then repeat that for 8 to 12 times. We're going to finish our exercises with a couple of stretches. The first one is a hip flexor stretch. Starting in your correct posture once again, take your left leg, take a big step back with it, and try to step far enough back that your heel can lift. If your balance becomes difficult here, take your left hand and place it on a wall. With that back heel lifted, we're going to press that hip forward. Let the hands rest at your sides. Your shoulders are right over your hips. Then we breathe deep and hold each stretch for about 30 seconds. Okay, we'll switch now to the other side, and as the right leg comes back, once again, far enough until that heel is lifted, lift it a bit more and then press the hips forward. Release the arms down so the fingertips are reaching down towards the floor as you relax your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, take the right leg and step it forward. And our last stretch is a downward facing dog at the wall. So we're gonna place our hands back at the wall like we did for our push-up, except this time we slide them down. So the wrists, the elbows, and shoulders are in one long line. From there, take the feet back and bring the heels to the floor. Now you may find you need to slide your hands down a bit more once you get here. And we're creating a 90-degree angle through our body. Pressing the hands into the wall and lengthen from the fingers through the shoulders, and then press down from the hips through the heels. Take a 30-second stretch, breathing deeply in and out, and then step your feet up to the wall and bring your hands down.